first of all, I would like to welcome everybody. I think we've got a great crowd for a great announcement. Thank you so much for joining us. I'm Tiffany McCampbell. I'm the interim athletic director here at the School of Mines. I'm also the head volleyball coach. And with great pleasure, I would like to introduce our 18th president of the South Dakota School of Mines, President Heather Wilson.
Well, good morning. I can't believe we got faculty here on a day off. I just thought I'd guess you, Dr. Keller. When I came to Mines 6 months ago, this school was on the cusp of becoming a full member of Division II, but we didn't have a conference. We didn't have a home. We had an affiliation with the GNAC for football and soccer, but that was time limited. And as of last week, we were the only Division II NCAA school in the country that didn't have a conference. We were an independent, and that made it harder to schedule games. It meant that we really didn't have a post-season conference. Made it harder when we were recruiting our athletes. Certainly made it tough with time on the road, a lot of away games. So in October, we began quietly working to find a home for Hardrocker Athletics. And in early January, after some informal discussions, a lot of informal discussions, we made formal application to a conference. And then last Friday at the NCAA convention, I made a formal presentation, and I am pleased to let all of you know that effective the 1st of July, the South Dakota School of Mines will be the newest member of the Rocky Mountain Athletic Conference. It becomes formal on the 1st of July, effective immediately. We are full participants. Our students will be able to participate in on the Student Advisory Council. Starting next athletic year, we will begin our transition in all of our independent sports. Our cross-country team, our track team, our golf team will be playing a full RMAC schedule. We will then phase in, and we've been working with the RMAC to do this. We'll keep our commitments to the GNAC. Mines keeps its word. We will keep our commitment to the GNAC and phase in with respect to soccer and football. And our basketball and volleyball teams, they've said we'll give you some help and encourage, for this next academic year, encourage all of our new friends in the RMAC to schedule games with us and prepare for a wonderful transition into the RMAC. So what does this mean for our students and for our school? It means we'll be in a conference with our historic rivals, Black Hills State, Chadron, Colorado School of Mines. It means less travel and less time away from class. Like it or not, it means less time away from class. For Rapid City and for the fans, it means more home games. There's been a lot of away games this year, and it'll be more home games and more rowdy fans in the King Center gym. It means conference championships and eligibility for postseason play for our scholar athletes. It means certainty for our coaches and not trying to scramble to fill a schedule as independents. And it means certainty for our scholar athletes and our prospective scholar athletes that we're encouraging to come here to Mines, because we know where we are. We're members of the Rocky Mountain Athletic Conference, and we know that a lot of them will want to be members of that conference as well. I am pleased to be joined here today with a gentleman who helped us tremendously in this process. He is the new commissioner for the Rocky Mountain Athletic Conference. He comes from Wisconsin and recently moved to Colorado to take up this position, and it was tremendously welcoming and helpful to us in what was a very compressed timeline for completing a full application to become a member of the conference. But there's a couple of other people I need to thank as well. Tom Mann is a volunteer who helped us with this application and reaching out to athletic directors. When he was at Fort Hays, was a member of the RMAC and still has a lot of friends there. I wanted to thank you, sir, for volunteering and helping. Dr. Mike Gunn and Tiffany Maston-McCampbell did a great job in working with their counterparts in the RMAC, talking to people and listening to what the concerns were in the RMAC and helping the school address those concerns. So thank you for your leadership of the athletic department. And this is a process that took place over a 4-year period. The School of Mines was an NAIA school when Dr. Wharton and Dick Kaiser started leading that transition into the NCAA and got us into an NCAA into Division II. There was a whole heck of a lot of work that went into that process, and it was handled very ably by this athletic department. There are members of this athletic department and university relations who helped all along the way and did a heck of a lot of work to get us into Division II and to get us this far so that today we're going to sign the letter of acceptance into the RMAC. And with that, I would like to introduce Chris Graham.
Good morning.
Good morning.
It's a great day to be a Hardrocker, I suppose. It's also very nice to be new to the RMAC. As President Wilson referenced, I've been on the job for a very short period of time, and I would have to say this is probably the most exciting 4 to 5 weeks that any NCAA commissioner could ever have. When they start a new job, I was a previous commissioner at a Division III conference in the Midwest, a great conference with great institutions, and we went through some membership, but nothing near as exciting as this. President Wilson referenced the short window that we compressed all of this work into, and she has done an outstanding job on behalf of this fine institution, along with a number of other individuals that have already been mentioned, including Tiffany McCampbell, Interim Director of Athletics. So I'd like to thank them for their flexibility and their cooperation in attending to our needs, particularly during this busy transition of the conference office staff, of which we had 2 employee positions we had to fill, including my own, over the last 6 months, and handle a membership process, which went exceptionally well because of the great people that were a part of it. On behalf of the President's Council, the Rocky Mountain Athletic Conference, we certainly wish to extend this warm and collegial invitation to the South Dakota School of Mines and Technology and welcome them to the RMAC as the 15th member in this Division II conference, this historic and renowned Division II conference. It is the 5th oldest conference in the NCAA. There are only 4 other conferences that are older, but none that are this far west, so we do consider ourselves the most historic Western NCAA collegiate conference. We welcome the fine student athletes here at South Dakota Mines, the fine coaches and administrators, outstanding students and academics at this institution. It's a great privilege to have you with us here in the RMAC, not just for your fine and competitive athletic programs, but the outstanding reputation that your institution carries in this region and across the country. Rapid City certainly is a wonderful addition to the footprint of the Rocky Mountain Athletic Conference, and as President Wilson already alluded to, the fine rivalries that you have established well before your invitation to the RMAC with Black Hills and Shadron, two of our outstanding members nearby, gives us a wonderful footprint here further to the north in the Rocky Mountain Athletic Conference. The opportunities that we have now, I won't say that they're endless, but they are very exciting. It gives us an opportunity in many sports to add new competitive programs, provide flexibility in our scheduling models, and provide new opportunities and new places to see for those student athletes currently in the RMAC. Certainly, among administrators and presidents, there's great interest when you add more conference members to develop scheduling that does benefit missed class time, that aids in the work that the athletic department does with their budgets and the time that student athletes miss from campus. We're very sensitive to that, and we're very interested in continuing to improve on those areas. As President Wilson alluded, Mines will stay committed to their current agreements. We are very interested in getting the student athletes on the courts and the fields the administrators in our meetings, the presidents at the national level involved in RMAC legislation, activity, and communications as soon as possible, and we welcome their individual team sports in to our championships beginning next year with the addition of the team sports as they're available in the coming years. Much of our team sport scheduling is completed for the year, but we have made a commitment to President Wilson to do what we can here in the RMAC to assist Mines during the scheduling process for next year as we continue this transition. Again, I'd like to thank Dr. Wilson, Tiffany McCampbell, and Christy for the ride from the airport last night at 11 o'clock as we both arrived in very late. Thank you to you and your husband for the assistance in getting me here. Rapid City is a wonderful town. It is a little breezy out there today, but the sun is shining because it's a good day here. So with that, I'd like to invite Dr. Wilson to sign the agreement to become the 15th full member of the Rocky Mountain Athletic Conference.
All this says on the bottom is, I accept. Is today the 22nd? No, what's today? Really?
Congratulations.
Be happy to take questions.
Was there another school that went in, or is it just mine?
Thank you for that question. We have extended an invitation to one other institution, and we hope to have some great news on that within the coming weeks. But we're not at liberty at this time to comment.
What was the need for the scheduling of the conference? How is that going to do with the rotations and stuff?
Mine certainly adds participation in a number of team sports, and that's really where the regular season scheduling comes from. So over the next 2 years, as we develop those scheduling models, they're mere concepts right now. Nothing is set into place. This divisional play has been discussed. As we have an invitation sent to another potential member institution, if we did have the opportunity to move to 16 teams, there's a good possibility that in some of those programs we could look at moving into divisional play where there wouldn't be the annual long-distance trips. Of course, we extend all the way into southern New Mexico and we have 10 of our institutions into Colorado. The divisional play is something I think all administrators and presidents have interest in. That's not to say that it's a guarantee that that'll be the direction we go, but I know that when we have an opportunity to move from 14 to 15 and now potentially 16 teams, we'll be looking at modified round robins within some of those team sports such as volleyball, men's and women's basketball.
Other questions?
President Wilson, as I understand this whole acceptance in the RMAC took place without an athletic director. Could you comment on the status of that position here at Mines?
We actually delayed the search for the athletic director until after the meeting last Friday because we think we will get a broader pool of candidates for athletic director. And, we had a broken search last fall, and after that broken search, Tiffany and I and Dr. Gunn and several others got together and said, we need to start moving forward on a conference even though we don't have a permanent athletic director. When it became clear in December that we might have a shot at getting into the RMAC, we actually delayed the search a full month so that the applications don't close until after this decision was made. And we think that there'll be a different pool. I mean, it's hard to come in as an athletic director to a school that's independent. That's a tough job. And I've already gotten some emails this morning of folks saying, great job at the NCAA, and I may be applying. So we pass those over to the human resources. Other questions?
What do you feel this is going to be the perception of the athletic department now as compared to, just moving into Division II now into a conference? Obviously, it's got to elevate that.
I think this is great for the school, and it's great for our athletes, and it's great for the school. And it's hard to be an independent. I think this adds yet more momentum to what Mines is all about. We've got a growing student body. We've got an athletic program that's getting stronger and stronger. We're one of 2 winning football teams in the state of South Dakota. And I think that we're a good fit for the RMAC. That's where our historic rivalries are. And the RMAC is a very strong conference that is focused on student athletes. And that's one of the things I like about Division II. We bring a lot to the RMAC. Rapid City is a great place to come and do athletic events. And we are a very strong school. And I think our academic excellence, the fact that we are growing, the addition onto the King Center, the addition of men's soccer, the strength of our programs made the case to the RMAC that, they really want Mines. And we think that we're the right fit. So it just adds to the momentum that surrounds the school. No other questions? Sir.
From a business perspective, will it be easier to receive funding for all sports programs being accepted into the RMAC?
It'll be easier to ask for funding, and I intend to do that. One of the things that we've actually talked about is the need for more athletic scholarships. I view athletic scholarships the same way I view freshman scholarships. It's an opportunity to earn your way through school with the gifts that you've been given. And we need to support those so that students have an opportunity to go to college. And that's what it's about. It's about going to college and being able to play sports. And there was we had actually at this NCAA conference some discussion about progress to graduation. And here at Mines, we are an academic school where we have some fantastic scholars who are also athletes. And I intend to do everything I can to support you in what you're trying to do, which is be an engineer, right?
Right.
Right. Larry.
Are there thoughts about adding programs, adding sports to our?
We have had those discussions, and it's one of the things that we've talked about. How does the RMAC make those decisions? And we're willing to be part of a solution in a larger, stronger RMAC. So yeah, we have had those discussions. I think the fact that we have men's soccer now, which we is new, and football as an addition helps the RMAC. Several of our sports help the RMAC from scheduling, but we're also open to considering the addition of other sports, and we've talked about some, and I expect those conversations will continue within the RMAC among the presidents. Well, thank you all very much. It's a great day to be a Hardrocker. My guess is that Chris needs a new collection of T-shirts, being new to the conference,
and this is my first conference T-shirt.
This is his. We may be the 15th team, but this is the first T-shirt. Yeah. There you go. Thank you very much. Sign this one other one too. I guess there's 2. Huh?